All right, inferences. Here's our lesson. So I'm going to give you the lesson for 1.05. I've sort of translated the lesson in K-12 into my brain, and now I'm sharing it with you. After this lesson, I want you to take the 1.05 quiz. So here we go. Inferences and outcomes. Predicting outcomes, it's like forecasting or guessing what will happen in advance. Inferencing is when you draw a reasonable conclusion based on information or evidence. So when you make a prediction in science, it's called a hypothesis. When you make predictions in English, we just call them predictions or inferencing, that we're using the clues to draw conclusions. But the thing is sometimes we're not always correct. So here's some examples. Weather predictions and athletic competitions. People use information to make an educated guess, but they're not always accurate. What do I mean by that? So you can base predictions of athletic contests on your knowledge of past performance. So you could make a bracket for March Madness because you know all of the basketball sports teams and based on how they did last year. But there's a lot of factors that influence the outcomes of games to predict them correctly. For example, a team last year is not the same as a team this year. And there's just too many factors to be 100% correct. But sometimes it's fun to guess. Sometimes you can even win a little money legally. But sometimes you can. Okay. Meteorologists, these are like expert prediction makers. But as we know, they're not always accurate. So they use information about air pressure and cloud formations in order to make predictions about the weather. Even though a prediction might be best based on specific information, and that information might have been accurate, the guess and the prediction may not always be 100% spot on. So for example, I checked my phone last night and it said that it was going to snow probably around 7 o'clock this morning. It did not snow at 7 o'clock this morning. It snowed at 9. So they were close, but not 100% correct. Maybe it snowed a different time at your place. So we're going to watch a little video. And as we watch this video, it's like a Pixar short. There are clues based on the characters' facial expressions and actions that lead us to draw conclusions. So many times an inference is based on observation. You look at facts and events, then you make an inference. So that inference happens after you look at the facts, after you look at the picture. So inferencing is something that you decide yourself, and people can make slightly different predictions based on their own experience. So, pigeons. Let's watch this. So you might be making some inferences based on the clues that have already been given you. You know the title, and you hear some music. That particular style of music might make you guess the location of the story. Okay, so what do we think is going on? You can think it in your brain, you can type it in the chat, whichever one. Why are they chirping? Where are the birds going? How do we know? We got a really quick clue. So if we put those pieces together, that's how we make an inference. So where are they going? They're going after that cupcake. Why? Because they're hungry. And who doesn't like a cupcake? So why do they want the cupcake? How do you know? So we're making the guess, why do they want it, and how do we know? That's the clues from the text. And our text is the movie. They did not get it. So how are the birds feeling? Yeah, we have a lot of facial expressions to go off of. They look pretty sad and hungry, a little defeated. So do the birds like to eat worms? How do we know? Normally birds like to eat worms, but they don't seem too excited about it. Also, why is it just one bird? Or one worm? Okay. So, we watched pigeons. We looked at context clues of their facial expressions and then their actions. So what was the character thinking, feeling? What did they do? And then we made some inferences. We drew some conclusions based on that. So now is the time to take your 1.05 quiz in K-12. Tell me when you're done in the chat. You do not have to tell me your score. Don't tell me your score. Just say, I'm done. That way I know to put it in the grade book. If you're done, you can start going into intro slides and taking a look at that. I will give you an introduction, but you don't have to do the intro slides today. So today, let's finish 1.05, and then if we have a little time, I will go over the directions for intro slides, but you can do those ones later. Okay.